Hello, good morning. It's Miss Phelan here. Good morning if you're watching this morning. Good afternoon if it's the afternoon, or good evening. Y'all are all doing your learning and your work at different times of the day. So whenever you're watching this, I hope you're having a great day. Today is Tuesday, March 31st, 2020. It is the last day of March. Tomorrow starts a new month, the month of April. I know we got some birthdays coming up, so let's have a great last day of March. It has flown by. I don't know about you guys, but even though I've been home, not getting out, not seeing other people, your work has been keeping me busy, keeping up with you guys and all that you're doing. So thank you for keeping me occupied while during this, this difficult time. It's hard for us to stay inside and be away from friends and other family members we can't see. But I hope you're taking care of yourself. Before we get started, this week I mentioned we were going to talk about even and odd numbers. Some of you have started your work on even and odd numbers. And some of you are going to be starting it tomorrow, depending on whether you're doing your work on paper or you're doing your work on the computer. But I'm going to talk about even and odd numbers for just a second to make sure that we know how to determine if a number is even or odd. So how can you tell if a number is even or odd? Well, we're going to use the number of days of school that we've had to figure that out. Okay, so we've been in school 148 days. And every time you want to find a number to see whether it's even or odd, you're going to look at the number in the ones place, okay? You don't have to look at the rest of the number. You always just need to check the number in the ones place. So if we have the number 148 for our days of school today, okay, the number in the ones place is 8. So we're going to take a look at the number 8. Now, an even number can be shown as two equal parts. That means you split it into two parts, and both of those parts have the same amount in them. Okay, so if we look at 8, see if I can do this. I don't have a whiteboard. I don't have anything to write on except this. Okay, so if we look at the number 8, okay, we're going to split it up into two equal parts. So first I'm going to draw 8 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so I've got my 8 squares, okay? So what I want to do is I want to see if I can split it into two equal parts. That means that both parts would have the same amount, okay? So if I take my 8 squares right there, and then I split them, let's see. If I take, let's see, put one here. Ugh. I don't know if I can draw it and talk to y'all at the same time. Maybe if I hold it upside down. Can you see it? Probably not very well. All right, how about I do this? I'm going to draw 1, 1. And as I draw them, I'm going to cross them out up here. So, ooh, can't do it backwards. This is not working out, guys. Okay, so that's 2. Then I do 3, 4, cross them out again, 5, 6, and cross them out, and then 7, 8. So I split up my numbers into two equal groups, or into two groups, and those groups are both equal. They both have 4 in them. So then I know that 8 is going to be even, okay, because I split it up into two groups, and both of those groups are equal parts. Let me show you a number that's odd so you can see that it's not the same as a number that's even. Let's say we do tomorrow's number, 149. Okay, we take the number 9 from the ones place, okay, and I draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay, I've got my 9, okay. Now I'm going to try to split 9 into two equal groups. So remember, I do 1 on top, 1 on bottom, and cross them out. So just like this. So 1 in this group, 1 in that group, okay. Do 1 and 1, and I cross them out each time to make sure that I don't count them twice. Then I've got my last one left, and I draw it down here. Now, are those two groups equal? Are the top and the bottom groups equal? No. The top group has 5. The bottom group has 4. So that means that number is odd. It can only be even if the 2 parts are shown as equal parts. And it can only be odd if the 2 parts are shown as not equal parts. Okay, so 9 is odd. All right, so the ones digit is always going to tell you if a number is even or odd. We'll do a little bit more with that tomorrow. I know that I'm going to try to come up with a better system than this. This is not the greatest system. But we're going to try and do that a little bit tomorrow. Those of you who are working on it, keep up the great work. Some of you will start talking about it tomorrow in your online lessons. So you'll get to that then too. Okay, so enough talking from me. We're going to go ahead and we're going to continue reading our book. We are on chapters 27, Lost and Found. So go ahead and listen up. It's Wayside School is falling down. Joy and Maurecia were best friends. They sat down on the grass to eat their lunches, but then Maurecia remembered she needed chocolate milk. She went to get some from Miss Mush. When she returned, she couldn't find her lunch. "What happened to my lunch?" she asked. Joy looked up at her, then shrugged her shoulders. "I set my lunch down right here," said Maurecia. "You saw me, didn't you?" Joy shook her head. "I put it here, then I went to Miss Mush's room to get some chocolate milk. I had a peanut butter and banana sandwich, and there's no way I can eat a peanut butter and banana sandwich without chocolate milk." Joy shrugged her shoulders. Maurecia didn't know what to do. "Can I have a bit of milk?" asked Joy. It was hard for Joy to talk because her mouth was full of peanut butter and bananas. Maurecia handed Joy the carton of chocolate milk. Joy took a big drink, then swallowed. Maurecia looked all around for her lunch. She crawled in the dirt as she searched through the bushes. "Any luck?" asked Joy as she finished Maurecia's chocolate milk. "I found it!" Maurecia exclaimed. Joy coughed on the chocolate milk. "You did?" she asked, then coughed again. Maurecia crawled out of the bushes holding a paper sack. She sat down next to Joy and opened it. "Is it your lunch?" asked Joy. "No," said Maurecia. "Too bad," said Joy. "It's money!" exclaimed Maurecia. Joy's eyes nearly popped out of her head as she looked at the paper bag. It was stuffed with dollar bills, and they weren't just $1 bills. There were a few $5 bills, some $10 bills, but mostly $20 bills. "We found $1 million!" Joy whispered. "We?" asked Maurecia. They counted the money. It wasn't $1 million. It was $20,655. "Let's split it," said Joy. "You take half and I'll take half." "Maybe I should show it to Louis," said Maurecia. "Louis!" exclaimed Joy. "Are you crazy? Let's spend it. We can buy a skateboard or a bicycle or a horse or a fancy car or an airplane." "I like taking the bus," said Maurecia. "You could buy ice cream," said Joy. "All the ice cream you ever want for the rest of your life." She knew Maurecia loved ice cream more than anything else in the world. Maurecia smiled as she thought about it. "No, I better show it to Louis. He'll know what to do." "You'll just get us in trouble," warned Joy. "Louis will think you robbed a bank. You'll go to jail for the rest of your life." "Louis knows I'm not a bank robber," said Maurecia. "But what if the real bank robbers find out you have their money?" asked Joy. "They'll come after you and hurt you." "Oh, I didn't think of that," said Maurecia. "You better give it to me," said Joy. "Louis will protect me," said Maurecia. She walked across the playground. Louis was talking to Terrence. He said, "If you ever tie Leslie's pigtails to the tetherball pole again—" "Louis, look!" said Maurecia. She held the paper sack up to his face. "No, thank you, Maurecia. I'm not hungry," said Louis. "It's not my lunch," said Maurecia. "Look inside." Louis took the bag from her and looked inside. "Very nice," he said, then gave it back to her. "Now I want you to go untie Leslie and tell her—" He suddenly stopped talking and blinked his eyes. He looked at Terrence, then at Maurecia, then at Terrence, then at Maurecia, and then at the paper sack. "Let me see that again," he said. Maurecia gave him the bag. "Hey, what about me?" asked Terrence. "Get lost, Jack Frost," said Louis. Terrence ran away. "Did you rob a bank?" asked Louis. "No, I found it in the bushes," said Maurecia. "I believe you," said Louis. "We'll have to put it in the lost and found." "I know," said Maurecia. "Whoever lost it is probably very sad. But if no one claims it in 2 weeks, you can have it," said Louis. He took the bag of money and headed to the office. Joy was waiting for Louis at the door. "Hey, Louis," she said. "I lost a bag full of money. Have you seen it?" "Help!" Leslie screamed from the tetherball court. A week later, Maurecia was eating lunch alone. She was eating a piece of sweet potato pie. Joy was crawling around in the dirt looking for more bags of money. There goes Clover. It's a delivery man. It's a UPS guy. My dogs do not like the UPS guy. That's why they're barking. To stop. Salem! He's sitting on the corner, so they're staring at him and trying to get him to go away. Oh, there he goes. Okay. Alright, I think we're good. Sorry about that interruption, guys. Okay. A week later, Mauricia was eating lunch alone. She was eating a piece of sweet potato pie. Joy was crawling around in the dirt looking for more bags of money. "Mauricia," said Louis, "I'd like you to meet someone. This is Mr. Finch." Mr. Finch was an old man with white hair and a long white beard. He shook Mauricia's hand with both of his hands. "It's your money, isn't it?" asked Mauricia. Mr. Finch nodded. "It was my life savings," he said, "for 50 years. I made pencils. I got a penny for every pencil I made. I hate pencils. But finally I saved enough money to quit my job and do what I always wanted to do." "What's that?" asked Mauricia. "I'm going to open my own ice cream parlor," he said, then started to cry. "When I lost that money, I thought I'd have to start making pencils again." Mauricia cried too. "Here, I want you to have this," blubbered Mr. Finch. He gave her an envelope containing $500. It was the second largest amount of money Mauricia had ever had. "And I will give you free ice cream for the rest of your life at my ice cream parlor," he promised. "Thank you," said Mauricia. "No, thank you," said Mr. Finch. "I'm so glad someone as kind and as honest as you found it. There's so many dishonest people in the world. It's good to know there are still good people, too." They hugged each other. Joy crawled out of the bushes. "Hey, who's that?" she asked. "This is Mr. Finch," said Mauricia. "It's his money. Look, he gave me a reward of $500, and I'll get free ice cream for the rest of my life." "Well, what about me?" Joy demanded. "Don't I get anything?" "Oh, dear me," said Mr. Finch. "I didn't realize there was someone else involved." "Mauricia would never have found the money if it wasn't for me," said Joy. "Why, what did you do?" asked Louis. "I stole her lunch," Joy said proudly. Mr. Finch gave her a pencil. So it was Joy who stole Mauricia's lunch. When she came back and was talking to her and she had that mouthful of peanut butter and banana, it was because she'd stolen her lunch and she ate it. So do you think Joy should have gotten money? I don't think so, because she stole something. So yeah, that was chapter 27, Lost and Found. We have 3 more chapters, chapter 28, 29, and 30. We're almost done with this book, and we're going to have to find a new book after this. This was a longer video, but I hope you guys were able to watch the whole thing. Keep working on all your work, doing a great job. I know you're reading. I know you're keeping up with all of your learning, and I will be back tomorrow with another video. See you guys later.